Welcome back to Inglés 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Advanced. Hello and welcome to Advanced class number 88. I think I had better get started. Yeah, had better. We had this structure. We've seen this structure, had better. Más vale que I had better get started. But in fact, now we're talking about the negative. This is a review of what we saw at the start of class 87, had better not. So, for example, I go to this is true, sometimes I go to dangerous neighborhoods at night. You can say, Kyle, you had better not go to dangerous neighborhoods at night. I have friends who always go to the casino on the weekend. Ooh, they had better not go every weekend because otherwise, right? With this structure, we often introduce a negative consequence because otherwise they could lose all their money. They could become addicted to gambling, right? Sometimes I drive fast. Ooh, Kyle, you had better not drive fast. Now, you had better not. Now, really, native speakers would use the contraction here. You'd better not. You'd better. You'd better. You'd better not. You'd better not drive fast. Kyle, you'd better not drive fast. Because you might have an accident. You might get hurt badly if you have an accident. You'd better not drive fast. You'd better not drive so fast. The other day, I forgot to turn off the stove. It's true, I forgot to turn off the stove. Do you know the stove? Not the oven, but the stove, which is the top. We say the fire. We say the stove or the stovetop. And there are elements. We say elements on your stovetop. But anyway, I forgot to turn off the element. I forgot to turn off the stove. And so my roommate came home and said, Kyle, you left the stove on. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And he said, you'd better not forget to turn the stove off because otherwise there could be a fire. And I said, I know, sorry, my mistake. Yeah. I often carry, after I get paid, I sometimes carry cash in my pocket, a bit too much. Not that I'm a wealthy man. I'm not rich, but sometimes I carry too much cash in my pocket. So what could you tell me? What advice can you give me? Kyle, you'd better not. You'd better not, infinitive, carry so much cash with you because otherwise you could get robbed. I could be robbed. They could steal my money. Do you remember the verb to rob? So people get robbed and things get stolen. When people get robbed, things get stolen, right? You don't rob we don't say you rob a thing. We say you rob a person. He robbed me. What did he steal? He stole my money. Okay? So in a robbery, things are stolen. Speaking of having things stolen, I sometimes leave my car door unlocked. Kyle, you'd better not leave your car door unlocked because otherwise someone could break in. Well, someone could open your car and steal your things. Yeah. Steal your things. That's right. They could rob me, but they could steal my things. Okay? So possessions are stolen in a robbery. We have different types of robberies. We have what they call a break and enter, where you you go in through a window, for example, that is locked, but you open that locked window, go in and steal something. Break and enter. We have pickpockets. Pickpockets are thieves like on the metro, for example, a thief that stealthily takes things from you without you knowing. pickpockets. And then there are muggers and muggings. To mug is to when you attack someone in the street and take all their, like a gang, a group of guys goes and they take someone's money and threaten him. It's called a mugging. Not pleasant experiences. Anyway, it is time to move on and take a look at our translation list. This is a review of translation list 22. Let's do it. Translation. Yes, translation. You heard it. That's right. It's time for our translation number 1. Tengo mis formas de enterarme de las cosas. I have my ways of finding out things. I have my ways. Tengo mis formas. I have my ways of gerund. I have my ways of finding out things. Number 2. Estás en una posición envidiable. You're in an enviable position. You're in an enviable position. Number 3. A mucha gente le gustaría tener lo que tú tienes. A lot of people would like to have what you have. A lot of people. Number 4. El perro persiguió al gato alrededor de la casa. The dog chased the cat around the house. The dog chased the cat around the house. Number 5. Sígueme y os llevaré a la tierra prometida. Follow me and I'll take you to the promised land. Wow, very strong. Number 6. ¿Me sujetas esto un momento? Can you hold this for me for a minute? Can you hold this for me for a minute? Number 7. Me gusta como firmas las cartas. I like the way you sign letters. I like the way you sign letters. Yeah. Number 8. Porque siempre me miras así. Why do you always look at me like that? Así, like that. Why do you always look at me like that? Number 9. Tómalo o déjalo. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Number 10. Vamos a implantar una nueva política. We're going to implement a new policy. We're going to implement a new policy. Number 11. De ahora en adelante, todas las mujeres han de llevar faldas. From now on, all women are to wear skirts. Okay. Number 12. Le gusta causar problemas. He likes to make trouble. To make trouble. Yeah, he likes to make trouble. All right, very good. Now we've done 12 sentences there. How did you do? Did you get 8 or 9, 10, 11, 12? I hope you got 12. They're very tough, though. Did you more or less get, say, 9 of them? Hopefully. Okay. Now we can move on to our expression of the day. Expression of the day. Yes, it is time for our expression of the day. The expression of the day today is the Big Apple. Yeah, the Big Apple, which actually is a place. It's not really a saying, but it's a term for New York City. New York City. And maybe, I know how in Spanish you say una manzana for a block, a street block. Imagine if it were, well, we don't use this in English. We don't say, we'll go down one apple and turn left. We don't say that. But maybe there's some link. I have no idea why we say the Big Apple. But maybe, I mean, it's like El Gran Barrio or like a street block. I don't know why. But the Big Apple is New York City. He lives in the Big Apple, which is why if you ever go to see the New York Mets, which are a baseball team, the most famous baseball team in New York, of course, is the New York Yankees. But if you go to see the New York Mets, who are kind of like the Atlético de Madrid of New York City, they're the second most well-known team, and they're in the major leagues of baseball. When a player hits a home run, when a New York Mets player hits a home run, a giant apple pops up. It comes up from a little box. Well, a big box, I guess, and there's a big apple that comes up, and people celebrate. Yeah, it's true. The Big Apple. All right? So, do you know what I'm getting at? It's time to move on. Do you know what I'm getting at? Do you know what I'm getting at? So, here, I want to practice this idea of to be getting at something. What are you getting at, Kyle? What are you getting at? Which is like to mean or to insinuate. ¿Qué quieres decir? What do you mean? What are you getting at? ¿Qué quieres decir? What are you getting at? Tú sabes muy bien lo que quiero decir. You know very well what I'm getting at. Okay? What I'm getting at. Getting at. Yeah. What are you getting at? So if I say, well, let's just say I thought she was a very nice girl. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at? What are you getting at, Kyle? What are you saying you like her, Kyle? Well, maybe I'm getting at that. ¿Qué quieres decir? What are you getting at? To be getting at something. What are you getting at? Okay. And instead of giving you 10 sentences of translation, I think this explanation has been good enough for this. To be getting at something. What are you getting at? Usually in the question, what are you getting at? And then you can say, well, I think he's getting at the fact that there's no money for the project. You say, well, the budget has been very tight over the last few months, and we're not sure. What are you getting at? Are you getting at the fact that there's no money? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're trying to say? ¿Qué quieres decir? What are you saying? What are you getting at? What are you insinuating? What do you mean? What are you getting at? So to get at. Nice phrasal verb here. Okay? Now, it is time to move on and talk about our 5 words of vocabulary. Vocabulary of the day. Yes, it is time for our vocabulary of the day. The first word today, senda, sendero. Path, path. Vereda también. Path, P-A-T-H. Oh, I found this nice little path through the forest. A path. Pantha, pantha. This is a punch. We say punch. Yeah, my stomach, my punch. Punch, P-A-U-N-C-H. Not an everyday word. This is not a word we use every day, but we could say, oh, he's putting on some weight. I can see he's got quite a little punch there. La Edad Media. The Middle Ages. The Middle Ages. Good. Dañar. To harm. To harm. Instalar. This is to install. To install. Instalar. Okay. No problem? Are you still listening? Are you are you still there? Are you still there? Are you still paying attention? Are you still with me? Are you still listening? Sigues escuchando. Still, okay? So still is used to express the idea that an action continues to be valid. Todavía estamos esperando. We're still waiting. Todavía estoy trabajando en ello. I'm still working on it. ¿Sigues saliendo con ella? Are you still going out with her? Are you still going out with her? Sí, todavía salgo con ella. Yes, I'm still going out with her. Todavía está en camino. It's still on the way. It's still on the way. It's still on the way. So, right now, I am talking about this word. I'm talking about still. I'm sitting in a chair. Right now, I'm scratching my head. Now, I'm still talking about the word still. I'm still talking. And I'm still sitting in the chair. Todavía. Still. I'm still sitting in the chair. And believe it or not, I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear it? But I'm still scratching my head. I'm still scratching. Now, when I stop, now I'm not scratching my head anymore. I'm still sitting in the chair, and I'm still talking about this structure, but I'm not scratching my head anymore. Right? Now, we'll talk about anymore. We'll talk about this structure later on in another class. And this is a review. We've seen these words before. But today the goal here now is to talk about still. Now, are you still listening to me? Are you still? Yes, Kyle, of course. I'm still listening to you because I'm still talking. The show isn't over. I'm still talking. I'm still talking about this structure. Okay. Now I am going to have to end, though. I'm still talking about this structure, but I'm going to have to end right now. So, okay, now I'm not talking about it anymore. Okay, so in the negative, not anymore, because I'm going to finish. Okay, so I am going to finish there, but we will be back tomorrow. Okay, the class is over, but the course, the whole course is still going on. We have many, many more classes. So I'll be back tomorrow at the same time, same place. Will you join me? I hope you'll be back listening as well. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.